Hello, welcome to KTK Consulting. This document we're talking about here is the first aid policy. First aid policy talks you through how your company proposes to manage its first aid requirements within that workplace. First aid will obviously be quite different depending on what's happening within the workplace, how large the workplace is. The policy here talks about the provision of first aid supplies, the use of first aid supplies, so how those supplies should be used, who can access them, who can't access them. The first aid kit should be kept in a secure location, but in the same token it should be readily available to whomever needs to get to it if in the case of emergency. In most cases on the emergency management plan you'll have someone who's designated to go and get that first aid policy. It could be the first person past if it's in a smaller workplace, it could be a designated person in a larger workplace. It talks about in here also for if you've got a first aid room or what happens if you notice the supplies are low. This document can be very simply changed, obviously, as with all our documents. So if you don't have a first aid room, if you're a small office, remove that from the policy. If you have a couple of first aid rooms or you have a designated first aid officer or a doctor on site, some of the bigger companies have doctors on site, that all goes in your policy as well, their contact details, etc. Again, put a poster on the wall with who the first aid officers are, the location of the first aid kits, where the first aid room is. Normally put it on your fire evacuation sheet, so on your floor plan you have your fire evacuation, put your first aid rooms on that, kills two birds with one stone. First aid policy, any questions, give us a call. Okay, bye.